Hey guys. Hey Mark. Thanks for being here. Yes, and I did have a good weekend. I hope you had a good weekend as well. I hope everyone did. All right. I have to remember to share the screen because my phone's not in here, so you guys can't call me, and the iPad is dead. If I don't share the screen, there's no way to get a hold of me. So this is all on me here. Let's look at the index buffer report. Just because we were here, what's down the most? Y-SPY, down 2%. Oops. Let's see, there's only one of them up, and it's FIRS, the Fire branded fund, which is good. That's a fund of funds, and it's good and safe, and you can see its safety's paying off today. I mean, but or it has some safe funds in it, I think. Look at old SFAL. I don't think SFAL's in FIRS. Pretty sure SFAL is. I'm just joking. But no, I don't think it is. Is it? That'd be funny if it was. No way. No way. So look here. We have Salty's up 0.5%. Look at this, blocks. It's saying blocks is up. I'm calling BS on that. I mean, because it's also saying YQQQ is up. When YQQQ and Salty's up, something like blocks should probably not be up. Well, we'll look at the charts here in a second. Other than that, USOY is the only thing that's up. USOY and YQQQ. GPIQ is also down a lot, as is Y-SPY. Those are two otherwise great funds that I love to talk about, both of them. A lot of people do. Great funds, but they are getting hit today. SFAL's kind of a fund everyone loves to hate, or lately anyway. Okay, so here's the yield max buffer report. And look at this. We have Bobo outperforming. And that's it on the outperformance. On the downside outperformance, we have Snowy. But after the other day, I don't know if it really is that big of a deal. But everything else looks like it's in line outside of Alti, which is Alti's outperforming whatever benchmark you use. Alti's outperforming it today. It's down 1.3. All right, so let's go over to kind of the story of two markets, because Bitcoin's rallying. It's up 2%. And whereas the S&P and the NASDAQ are solid off, and they're down 1.5%. Or they were down more earlier. I mean, well, anyway, okay, that's S&P. That's a 24-hour chart of the S&P, but we can look at the SPY. Yeah, the SPY just fell out of bed this morning. Left this big, nasty gap behind. Well, we'll see if it's still there by the end of the day. We'll see. All right, so let's look at the Qs. It's weird that Bitcoin isn't reacting or is in fact going the other way. I mean, the Qs, same thing, big, huge, bearish gap. But we'll just look at IBIT because it's just, because it doesn't trade 24/7. But it actually had a small gap up, anyway. In the grand scheme of things, if you want to look at this is still plenty bearish. Even though this is bouncing today, you could look at that as still the overall trend is definitely bearish. So, all right. Well, so let's look over here at the top 20 list. And I just pulled this morning, and this is the short-term list, but it has some long-term people on here. OARC's a long-term person, but YETH is number one, OARC number two. Goop number three, SLVO, SOXY, KQQ, NVDY, CLIP, AMDY, XYLG, GUI, IWMW. There's some good ones on here. I'm not believing that IWMW is really yielding 23%. Does that mean, is it? We'll see. All the max factor does is scrape FinViz, so FinViz has to be saying it. Yeah, look, that's what FinViz is saying. 23% dividend. Wow. And up 4% for the quarter. That's just NAV. And for the past year, total return of 6.51. My rankings also figure in the average true range and the beta. But in any event, yeah, that one's you never really think about that one being a good one, but that is that one. I wonder if it paid one huge dividend, because I just didn't think it used to pay that much. 63 cents, 71 cents, 64 cents, 85 cents, 85 cents, 37 cents. Wow, it's gone all the way from 37 to 85 cents. Actually, it was $1.43 at one point. Well, this thing's kind of all over the map, but it's one no one ever talks about. It's interesting, though. All right, so let's look over here. Let's look at the one-day buffer report. All right, one-day buffer report. So YQQ is the only thing that's up on the whole. Everything else is red. Even some of the inverses are red, even feet. All right, now let's just look at beating the parent. Which one's outperforming the parent by the most? It's YQQ again. And feet, RNTY, the real estate-based fund from Yulmax, LFGY, the crypto DeFi-based fund, down, but only 65 basis points. I mean, it could be doing worse. The SPY's down. It's down less than the SPY. I mean, that is a bright spot. I always give feet and 5E a hard time, but both of them are down less than the SPY today. SDTY, Biggie. So anyway, there's some ones out there that are protecting money decently. Let's look at the 1 week. The 1 week buffer report. Even on this, it's YQQ and everything else. Is that really 1 week? Yeah. Wow, it's been a rough week. I mean, I can't believe there's not one of these that's positive over a week's time. Okay, let's go back a month. Well, it's been a good month for LFGY, YMAG, Biggie, SDTY, QDTY, Chippy, YMAX, Soxy. YMAG also outperformed the parent. YMAG and LFGY, if you go back far enough, if you go back a month, because it certainly has not been a good day or week for any of these. I can't imagine that even on the week, there's not one of them that's up other than YQQQ. Now, anyway, hopefully we covered your favorite fund. Sorry, this report's late. Hey, Marcus. Yeah, Capital Preserver, or like or what about CAIE? I've been seeing more stuff about those auto callables. I saw an auto callable index. I mean, and evidently the auto callable thing is an institutional trade and has been for years. And but anyway, it's just now getting out into retail. But there's a couple of indexes that follow it, and so I would expect more funds to pop up to do those auto callables. And also, what about those barrier options? Remember those barrier options? I mean, I understood those just fine. Remember SBAR and XV? Let's go look at those. Let's do a little max follow-up. All right, XV was a 15% target fund. And SBAR was the same thing, except it was 30%, or it just tried to earn as much as it could. So I'm trying to remember this again. Yeah, and these were barrier options. Yeah, and they were barrier options. And there it is right there. And they had a worst of feature. You can see it right there. So they were on all three indexes, and if the worst of them had to do something for the barrier to kick in, and if that didn't happen, which hopefully it won't, and it was a pretty big barrier. I think it was dropped 30% or something. Anyway, the performance has been good. I mean, decent, I guess. 2% NAV for the quarter. I mean, and it's gonna pay 15, but anyway. All right, well, let's look at SBAR. Same deal. I mean, it looks like the same story here. Anyway. But I remember kind of being interested in those, but those are steady ones. And then also we have SPUT. Isn't SPUT on the steady list? Oh, not today. What happened, SPUT? What are you doing to us, SPUT? Are you serious? Come on. They're doing daily put rights. And I mean, well, I mean, the market did pull back pretty big, but that's also a dividend, right? They just paid a dividend. They paid a 10-cent dividend. They paid 12 cents last time, so it's actually a little bit disappointing. I bet that's just a bad print, a price that didn't really take place or something. But they deserve to be down 10 cents because they are. But yeah, and then of course the CAIE. This one's supposed to be super steady. It looks like a bond. It goes up, goes up. There's lots of ones that are like fixed income that do these kind of sawtooth patterns where but those are the ones that are like fixed, like real stable, like a bond would do and stuff. And this is a bond. So that's awesome. CAIE. So those are the steady ones in the morning. Let's see what Marcus knows more about steady than I do. What's he saying? He replaced SBAR and SVOL with CAIE. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's all the same. Yeah. Appears to be safer and appears to be right now doing a great job. That's, I think, the auto callable market. That's, like I say, there's going to be more stuff coming out, more funds that track that in the future, in the near future, I think. And there's also, I was doing some studying over the weekend. There's also going to be a lot more funds that sell that sell put spreads. Like we've been calling it the light beat spread. That's a huge thing, and it has been for a while. But I found some interesting stuff on that, and I'll make some content on it. All right. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about? But yeah, I'm glad you like your FIRS, Marcus. Let's go look at that FIRS. That's it's a fund of funds, and of course they're all title funds. But then I like title funds because most of those are managed by Jay. But even some of the ones that aren't managed by Jay, well, they're all managed by Jay nowadays. But even some of the ones that aren't directly managed by him, like X funds, like blocks, are indirectly managed by him and have some really cool ideas. It's just an innovative company. Yeah. So look at this, baby. This is your Wealth Builder ETF. Just goes slow and steady up and to the right. Pays very little dividend, but 7% return for the quarter. I mean, it's been doing great lately. I mean, it sold off a little bit in the April sell-off. I mean, it was down from, it was down $1 from top to bottom. But that's like 5%. That's nothing compared to the broader market. Yeah, it's a good fund. So what all do they have? They have the SoFi. No one ever talks about that fund, SFY. I think it just does cover calls on the SPY. Or I think it's just a S&P covered call type thing. This one's cool. Look at this, Bitcoin God. This is Bitcoin and gold. So look, they have one called Misty that has nothing to do with MicroStrategies. It's some Madison Trust short-term strategic income. And they have a bond fund, a carbon thing. They have a little gold miners, GLDM. This veterans thing, VETZ. This granny shots. Even granny shots is getting killed today. Look at that chart right there. Granny shots is gapping down. But not this thing. What is this? This pure trend ETF. This is what you want to be in today. Heck yes. Look at this thing. It's breaking out. Let's see what their positions are. 3-month euro. I mean, they're just making interest rate plays, but whatever they're doing, it's working out. I've never even heard of that one. Trend following. Looks like the trend's mainly been down on this one. Anyway, it's trying to turn around. We'll see. MFUT. Learn something new every day. Yeah, are you talking about that the same time I was? But I just saw that. That's yeah. Yeah, I agree with all that stuff you guys are talking about. Salty is doing his job today, as is YQQQ. I hate it when they do their jobs, but they have to. They do it they do it well when they do it. So a day like today is perfect. They just don't do well in like a huge gap and go situation, but a slow grind down, they should max out their opportunities, unfortunately, and they'll probably roll out or whatever. We'll see. We shall see. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you guys get out of here. I'll be back at 2:45. I'll try to be on time, or I'll be on time this time. I'll be here at 2:45. All right, guys. Marcus, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the rest of you guys. I'll talk to you later.